Hello, my name is Stanley Heller. Welcome to The Struggle. The Struggle is on over 30 cable stations from Maine to New York City. On the internet at thestruggle.org. Today, more on the Israeli deportations of tens of thousands of Africans, the Great Women's March in the United States, a fascist attack in Greece, and an anti-fascist meeting in Hartford, Connecticut. We begin in the Israeli city of Herzliya, where a large demonstration of Africans tried to shame the Israeli public into stopping the deportations. Activists organized around a Twitter handle, Refugees for Sale. Here's a video they produced.
הוצאנו כ-20,000, ועכשיו המשימה היא להוציא את היתרה. השנה אנחנו הוצאנו כ-4,000, והמאמץ הגדול הוא להוציא באופן משמעותי את רוב אלה שנשארו שהם שוהים ומסתננים בלתי חוקיים בישראל. למסתננים יש ברירה פשוטה, לשתף איתנו פעולה ולצאת מרצון בדרך מכובדת, בדרך אנושית ובדרך חוקית, או כמובן צריך להפעיל את הכלים האחרים העומדים ברשותנו.
A lot of people who deported from Israel are also dying in Sahara. So please, it is better to fight for your right in Israel instead of going back to Africa and dying in Sahara and sea. I'm not saying, guys, everything is good in Israel, but it is better than to die. It is better than to stay illegal all your life in Africa. It is better than to travel illegally all the way from Rwanda till Europe. It's a question of life.
On January 23rd, I did an extensive interview with one of the organizers, Sigal Kook Avivi. I knew the general situation, but found the details to be shocking. Here are two short excerpts.
The demonstration was in front of the Rwanda embassy in Herzliya, And the call was the call to Rwanda was not to buy, as it is, slaves, or not to buy asylum seekers from Israel, not to buy off the asylum seekers from Israel.
So how many people were at the rally? What kind of signs were there?
Okay, I think there were somewhere around the communities of South, the Eritrean community came a little bit with women and children also, but I think somewhere between 2,000 and 2,500. There was also a lot of, not a lot, but let's say maybe 100, 200 Israelis that also joined them, students and so on. The signs were, we are refugees, refugees are not for sale, sailing refugees to Rwanda is a crime, we are Eritreans or Sudanese, you can't return us to a place where we do not belong as Rwanda, all kinds of signs like that these people are being deported. And not only are they being deported, they're being sold twice. For the first time, they're sold from Israel to Rwanda, because, now the claim is that Israel pays $5,000 for each asylum seeker that is sent to Rwanda. So that's the first time they're being sold. And the second time they're being sold in this journey, there's no way, there's no way out for them. They end up in this journey, they end up reaching in Libya, and we saw the pictures in Libya of people being sold in auction places, and we also we have even a video of one of the asylum seekers, a Sudanese asylum seeker that was in Israel, and he reached Libya, and we have a video of him being tortured. Mm-hmm. So the idea was to give the Israeli public is like, it's very convenient for them not to know what's happening. So we actually wanted, as to say, to put it in their face that this is what we're doing to our asylum seekers.
Netanyahu intends to expel tens of thousands of people to the middle of Africa, where again they will go on a long, horrific path to Libya. We need to speak up about this. It will only be stopped with outside pressure. To see the interview, go to the website, thestruggle.org, and click on the button for our YouTube channel, Struggle Video Media. Now to the Great Women's March. Maybe 1 million marched in the United States in hundreds of rallies. We covered the event in Hartford, Connecticut.
This is what democracy looks like. Show me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Hartford! Yeah! Yes! Young Trump! Young Trump! Young Trump! Young!
Last year there was no march, everybody just went to the Capitol. That does look bigger.
He's getting credit for your sign.
Tell you what, you see something you want a good picture of, tell me. I can share my picture files with your video.
Start the next area.
democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show us what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like. Good job. Good This is what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Donald Trump has got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. Donald Trump has got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. Donald Trump has got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. Donald Trump has got to go. Okay. Check it out.
I signed at 6 feet long. They have been doing their vigil every Saturday for years.
Donald Trump has got to go. Hey, hey. Donald Trump has got to go.
Yes, yes, yes.
In the upper ring.
Ready? Jump in. Jump in. Do it. Jump in. Jump in.
Thank you, Stanley.
That's all right, Bill. It's okay. Your version of religion engagement by the other religions.
Nice hat.
Donald Trump has got to go. Hey, hey, hey. Ho, ho, ho. Donald Trump has got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. Donald Trump has got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. Donald Trump has got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. Donald Trump has got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. Donald Trump has got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. Donald Trump has got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. Donald Trump has got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. Donald Trump has got to go. Hey, hey.
I would love it, actually.
And everyone will help us.
Are you guys from the Wrestling Cats?
I was there this morning.
Oh my God! I love that place.
Yeah, they had 300 people there this morning.
Oh my God! They have the sign there.
Their sign.
Oh my God! I
And I
love
said,
that
okay,
place.
I'll bring you. Yeah, so
they have no like experience with that.
We want a leader, not a creepy tweeter. We want a leader, not a creepy tweeter. We just want we come from America. Yeah.
That they were like watching.
Thank you for coming over.
Yeah, he lost. Donald Trump has got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! Donald Trump has got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! Donald Trump has got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! Donald Trump has got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! Donald Trump has got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! Donald Trump has got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! Donald Trump has got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho!
I'm in Chester
We're up here from the CTDSA, the Central Connecticut chapter out of New Haven. We're here basically because we think what's going on right now is a lot of bull. Specifically, the deportation, the bills that have been passed as of late, basically like the level of class war that has started. We believe in universal health care. That is like a strong point for us. And I think in general it's good to show, like the legislators that we care and that we're probably not going to sit around for much longer and just allow like the stuff to happen.
Suzanne, what do you think of this rally?
I think it's phenomenal. It's really great to see so many people standing up and making their voices heard.
And you are all with a union delegation. I haven't seen too many of those. Tell us about your union and what you're trying to accomplish for women.
Yep, I'm a member of 1199. I work with the head of the nursing home team for District 1199, the New England Healthcare Employees Union, and you know all of our members are the predominantly women, people that have been forgotten, the caregivers whose work is undervalued. We know as women our work is undervalued, and for a long time they didn't even consider caregivers workers because it was women's work and it was you know expected of women. You know, women have traditionally been undervalued, and as caregivers, because we are predominantly women, they have been undervalued and kept in the shadows for too long. And so we believe that the only way for people to stand up and to improve their conditions and to get respect on the job and to be treated with equality and dignity is to band together and to make their voices heard, to take on those misconceptions and to demand the respect that we deserve.
If people want to get a hold of your union, what's the way to contact you?
549-1199. 860-549-1199. We have a website. You can search for District 1199 SEIU, 1199 New England. You know, we only are going to be more effective the more that people that we have together, and the more people who are willing to stand up for what's right in this world, the more effective we can be.
So Marissa, you have a lot of good things on your sign. Could you talk about them, why you came out today?
Yeah. So I marched. I was trying to come up with a sign, and I couldn't just pick one issue because there are so many out there. The racism with the president coming out and calling countries shithole countries is totally not acceptable. The Me Too movement of women coming out talking about how they have been harassed, sexually abused. I'm marching for them. For all the Black Lives Matter movement, the injustice for them. For the Dreamers, with the DACA movement and with the government shutdown coming today over that. For the future for my son, which goes right into climate change, how science is not believed right now, which really bothers me. For the Muslim ban, for all the people who aren't being letting come into our country. For equality for all. For women, for transgender, gay, lesbians, human rights, women's rights. I'm marching for them, for unity for the country. Right now, this country's being divided, not brought together. I march for that. Equal pay for women.
Lots of creative slogans in these still photos. Organizers of the rally in Hartford wouldn't allow mention of the situation of women in Palestine, Israel. So, Jewish Voice for Peace New Haven, our own Middle East Crisis Committee, and the Tree of Life Educational Foundation brought up the issue our own way.
Yeah, free the Tamimi women now. Free the Tamimi women now.
No children in Israeli prisons.
Women now.
No children in Israeli prisons. No children in Israeli prisons. No children in Israeli prisons. Free Ahad. Free Ahad. Free Ahad. Free Ahad.
Free Ahad.
Now photos from New York City. And some photos from the march in Chicago. Now to Greece. During a nationalist rally in the northeast city of Thessalonica, there was an eruption of fascist violence. Tens of thousands of people were rallying over a long, simmering dispute over the name of a neighboring country which calls itself Macedonia. During the rally, persons left the rally site, and according to the independent media group Unicorn Riot, Nazis and nationalists attacked two social centers, burning one to the ground. They vandalized a Holocaust memorial, writing the name of the Nazi group Golden Dawn on it, and tore down a banner promoting religious tolerance. Although dozens of police were present, no arrests were reported in either of the attacks on the social centers, the school, and Libertatea Squat. The next night, about 1,000 anti-fascist demonstrators took to the streets. They were attacked by police. We mentioned in an earlier program a rally by white nationalists in Hartford, Connecticut, in front of a statue of Christopher Columbus. To combat this stupidity, the union called the IWW is holding 2 events in Connecticut to talk about fascism and anti-fascism. The first on Sunday, February 4th at 1 p.m. at the CT Comedy Theater, 15 Asylum Street in Hartford. And the second one on Friday, February 9th at 7 p.m. at Diaspora Multicultural Society, 90 John Street in New Britain. That's our program for today. See you next week at this time. I'm Stanley Heller for The Struggle.